Welcome back to Worth Looking News. This week I got some Datamine information about the upcoming event vehicles and a few other things, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and press that join button if you want to support the channel. But all this information comes to you thanks to my moderator CT Center, starting off with the P59, which is actually technically playable in game through the dynamic campaigns, and with its current flight model, it oddly for a jet turns really well, although its speed is a bit lacking for a 6.0 battery that it's going to get. From my test, at about 2,000 and 3,000 meters, the highest speeds I could get about was 560 kilometers an hour, and that was from flying in a straight line for quite some time. I think the more typical speed that you'll see yourself fighting in is around 450 or so. Although it's good to keep in mind that the flight characteristics of this aircraft could be changed when the plane is officially released. But another positive of this vehicle is the nose-mounted guns make aiming really easy. And in terms of loadouts, it's supposed to have 3 different bomb setups. No rockets though. However, currently in game, you cannot set up with any form of loadouts. Also, which has been floating around, is a stat card for the vehicle. However, I trust stat cards as far as I can throw them, and I can't actually throw them because they are digital items. In terms of the other aircraft is the BF-110C6, which is going to be at battle rating 3.3 and presumably fly like any other BF-110. It's a BF-110, I'm not sure what you're expecting. The one thing I was interested in is its lower 30mm cannon. However, it seems to be the same stats as the Duck's MK103 cannon and belt as well. And at a 3.3 battle rating, all I can see is this is going to be a slightly better Duck with more main guns. From a gameplay perspective, this is going to be a very good plane. However, I was hoping for some more weird oddities to see in the game. One concern to be though is that its max capacity is only 30 rounds, which isn't much to go murder tanks with, though MK103s are very effective guns. The BT-7F-32 was a vehicle that held very little mystery to me. It's a BT-7 with a different turret and a KV-1B gun. Its battle rating is going to be 3.0, which seems kinda high for what could be killed with 50 cals. If you want to get into the nitty gritty of the vehicle's stats, MikeGoesBoom made a pretty nice in-depth video on it. Speaking of MikeGoesBoom, I'm gonna have to thank him for the gameplay footage that you'll most likely will see in the background. But what I want to talk about that has to do with BT-7s is they're actually in the files 2 other BT-7s that look to be added to the game. There was the BT-7M, which is just a BT-7 with a better engine, and something called the BT-7A. I couldn't find anything labeled exactly this, however there is the BT-7 Artillery. That's what I presumed this to be. The BT-7 Artillery was a BT-7 with the turret of the T-28 and a short-barreled 75mm howitzer, which could be a pretty fun derpy vehicle, although it's not on the scale of BT-42, which I hope one day we see in game. The next tank on the list of things is the AULB, which you already know most of the characteristics about. It's an AULB, but with a 60mm gun that shoots APFSDS or APDSFS, whatever Gaijin is calling it this week. So what could I add to this? Well, of course, its battle rating, which is going to be 8.0, and the penetration stats to its ammunition, which are at 0 meters, 249mm of penetration. At 100, it's 246. At 500, it's 240. At 1,000, it's 231. At 1,500, it's 222. At 2,000, it's 213. At 3,000, it's 204. And at 10,000 it's 5mm, and at 2,000 it's 0mm, which would make it the least penetrating APFSDS in game, and be less than quite a few AP rounds in game. So an 8.0 battering seems a bit much in my opinion. As for the boats, the Brit ship is 3.3, and I already said what kind of guns it has last time around. Couldn't find any other information on that. And the Weeb ship is going to be 3.7. Once again, I unfortunately do not have any extra information. But also related to Japan, it has been 3 years since Gaijin had partnered with DMM, and now they're going to have some sort of celebration coming up on August 9th. It seems DMM is a little bit disappointed that the Japanese map is not a historical one, as this celebration seems to focus around adding a more historically accurate Japanese map to the game. They had a Twitter poll about this, and you could vote for either having a tank map, an air map, or a naval map. I voted for an air map because I want some more air maps. Although the historical setting wouldn't do much when you're having German Air Force with some Japanese backup fighting off the Americans, British, and Russians over Japan. For the last bit of news, a friend of the channel, Tiny German 26, his skinning competition has now ended, with the victors being Johnny Gustavo with a Finnish IL-4, Sheen Bod with a Hungarian Uprising T-3485, and third place going to Munner for his Spitfire Mark 9 RAF. And honorable mentions were CT Center with a KV-1 5th Panzer Division and Rav Vixie for his Flak Panzer V. And that's all the news I have this week. There might be some more things I missed. If so, feel free to comment down them below or on my Discord. If you want to see any more videos, I make them Sunday. I make reviews throughout the week, and I stream War Thunder on Saturdays on youtube.com. However, I've also been streaming XCOM on twitch.tv, so be sure to go follow me there. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day. As bonus news, there's a guy on the War Thunder live page that is making a Polish plane, which is pretty cool.